Welcome to Waterline 911, your go-to source for discussing one of the water industry's biggest challenge, the non-revenue water. So here on Waterline 911, we'll break down complex problems, share real-world solutions, and give you the tools and insights to make an immediate impact to your water system. So from leak detection to system optimization, I'll share proven strategies to help water utilities recover revenue, reduce loss, and build efficiency. So let's talk about NRW. NRW, or short for non-revenue water, is the difference between the system's input volume and the total volume billed to customers. So ito yung water that we produce from our water sources but was lost along the way bago makarating sa mga customers or consumers. Ang non-revenue water or NRW has or falls into three categories. So first is yung authorized unbilled consumptions. Here, we authorize consumers na kumuha ng tubig from our water system but we are not billing them. So ang authorized unbilled consumption is pwedeng metered or unmetered. So metered means na monitor lang natin yung volume consumed by the consumer pero hindi natin binibill. Example siguro are metered fire hydrant. So sa ganito, namomonitor lang natin how much water we're taking out from our system but we are not gaining revenue. Unmetered authorized consumption naman are water taken from our water system na pinapayagan naman natin but wala tayong volume monitoring. So I will use unmetered fire hydrants na lang din as an example para mas madali. So since mostly naman talaga ng mga fire hydrants are unmetered, so yung mga fire trucks, inaalaw natin sila kumuha anytime ng water from our water system without monitoring how much water are they taking out from our system. The second category na nagko-cause ng NRW and also one of the reasons of water losses, which means isa sa mga bagay na need natin gawa ng solution is yung apparent loss. Or sa iba, they are more familiar if we call it as the commercial loss. So commercial loss refers to water loss caused by ineffectivity natin to bill our customers. So it can be either meron tayong mga existing illegal connections, we have inaccurate meters, and errors sa pagbabasa natin ng meter. So mga meter readers, you are playing an important role in NRW reduction ng mga water utility. Sa mga encoders naman ng mga readings galing from the meter readers, incorrectly recording the billed volume to whatever billing system na ginagamit natin also adds up to commercial loss. So pag sinabing commercial loss, hindi physically nawawala yung tubig. It is being consumed by someone pero hindi natin na-account ng tama. The third category of NRW is the real losses. Yung iba, mas familiar sila sa term na physical loss. Ang physical loss is merely caused by the actual losses from our water system. So ito yung una nating naiisip na nagkukos ng NRW natin. So one of the reasons na nagkukos ng ating physical loss in which dito tayo pinaka-familiar are the leakages. So leakages from our broken pipe, nag-loose na connections from our valves, service connections, and other appurtenances are causing physical loss. So the other one that also causes our physical loss is yung mga overflowing tanks. So aside from solving the leakages, we also need to look out for our water tanks and reservoirs. Yung overflowing kasi ng mga yan also adds up to our NRW under the physical loss category. Now, the question is, why should we measure our NRW? So the reasons why we need to measure our NRW is, number one, for management information. Gaano ba kalaki ang nalulugi ng ating water utility from the water losses? Do we need to take it easy or is it serious matter na ba? Second is for us to formulate solutions and kahit little by little, mapababa natin yung ating NRW percentage. Of course, the first thing to do to cure the problem is to make yourself aware of the problem. Hindi naman natin pwedeng ibaba ang NRW natin na hindi man lang tayo aware kung ilang percentage ba ang kailangan nating ibaba or ano ba ang current situation natin with regards to our NRW percentage. So third is for feasibility studies. Some are using their NRW percentage as a hint if ready na ba yung water utility to expand and gather more customers or need ba muna nilang i-improve yung kanilang water system? Fourth is for the financial institutions who requires our NRW percentage. Like for example, getting a loan from a financial institution, they also want to check ilang percentage ba ang losses ng ating agency. And lastly, for other government regulatory requirements. So, being in the industry for almost 2 decades, I got the chance to travel nationwide. Maybe at some time, na-visit ko na yung mga water utilities ninyo. And I visited even a nearby country. I gained the understanding on how things are going on in connection to NRW issues, and also gained skills from my previous experiences and mentors about NRW. So we formulated a holistic approach to address NRW. This is more on a Philippine-based approach, which I want to share with you today through this blog. And this is based on our observations, past experiences, and gained knowledge over the years. So if you're ready, take out your pen and paper and list down these step-by-step solutions to reduce NRW. Lesser cost, but still effective. Okay, so the first step to address your NRW is by making sure that you are accurately measuring your water production. Siyempre, by the use of accurate flow meters or water meters. Upon traveling around the country kasi, we can see water sources that are still using old mechanical type water meters. So please take note I'm only referring to old mechanical type water meters. Mechanical type water meters kasi has moving parts. So these are subject for wear and tear when used for a long period of time. So we always suggest that if your mechanical meter is already 5 years old and above, subject nyo na siya for replacement. Kasi the wear and tear might already be present to your mechanical type water meter, causing it to inaccurately measure your water production. In addition to that, you should also check yung accuracy ng ating production meters at least once a year to make sure na tama pa yung nababasa niya. So to check the accuracy of your meters and to make sure na tama pa rin yung nababasa niya, you can either pull that meter out and test it to a meter testing facility or use a calibrated portable type ultrasonic clamp-on flow meter. So alam na natin paano yung procedure sa mga meter testing facilities, So I will not discuss that anymore. I want to discuss the calibrated portable type ultrasonic flow meter. Dito kasi, you need to install the portable ultrasonic flow meter in series to your production meters. So let it read volume simultaneously with your production meter and compare the result. So if beyond na sa allowable percentage error yung difference ng dalawang meters, you already need to subject your production meter for recalibration or replacement. So take note this should be done at least once a year. If sure na kayo that your production meters are measuring accurately, then we're done with our first step. Our second step for the holistic approach on addressing NRW is the pressure monitoring and analysis. On this step, gagamit tayo ng mga data loggers. So not necessarily kailangan nyo agad bumili ng 50 or more loggers. You can either rent some loggers or buy the quantity na enough lang para malagyan yung mga strategic locations nyo for pressure monitoring. Yung data na magagather natin dito sa ating second step is magagamit for hydraulic modeling and analysis. Malalaman din natin ano yung pressure profile ng ating distribution network to identify areas na excessive ang pressure and those na kinakapos ng tubig or tinatawag na critical areas. And ano yung mga valves or saan tayo pwedeng mag-install ng mga isolation valves to form district metering areas or the DMAs. Our third step for the holistic approach on addressing our NRW is forming DMAs. DMA stands for District Metering Areas. So it is defined as forming a discrete part of water distribution network that is usually created by closing boundary valves or by permanently disconnecting pipes to neighboring areas. Ang goal natin dito is hati-hatiin yung water distribution network into small DMAs with only one entry point. And to that entry point, mag-install tayo ng flow meter or water meter. By doing that kasi, malalaman natin yung volume consumed by each DMA. So mas mapapadali pa ang ating identification kung anong area ang pinakamalaking contributor ng ating NRW kasi per DMA. So since meron siyang single entry point measured by a flow meter or water meter, makuha natin yung NRW of that particular DMA if makuha din natin yung build volume doon. So imagine if nakahati per DMA yung water distribution network natin. So by computing for NRW of each DMA, malalaman natin kung saang DMA tayo unang dapat mag-focus to reduce NRW. And easier pang malalaman natin yung most appropriate solution to reduce NRW because easier din gawin yung ating fourth step, which is the night flow measurement. So our fourth step for this holistic approach to address NRW is the night flow measurement. In here, per DMA, gagamit tayo ng data logger to be installed to the district meter monitoring flow and pressure with 15 minutes recording interval for 7 days. Sa night flow measurement, ang gusto nating makita dito is yung ating minimum flow. So bakit nga ba night flow, no? Because the night flow measurement, we are trying to measure the leakage rate. Ang tinitingnan talaga natin sa night flow measurement activity is the amount of physical loss present to a specific DMA. Sa gabi kasi, wala masyadong gumagamit ng tubig. And the volume being read by our district meter at the time na wala masyadong gumagamit ng tubig are from the leakages. Ang components ng minimum night flow are, number 1, the normal night use. May gumagamit pa rin ng tubig sa gabi. May naliligo, nagpa-flush ng toilet, etc. So isa yan sa mga components ng minimum night flow. Sa formula na ginagamit to compute the minimum night flow, nag-set lang tayo ng constant value representing the normal night use per service connection and then dinideduct natin siya from the computation. Second, other than the normal night use per service connection, other components na ng minimum night flow are the leakages. So yun yung gusto nating makuha. So upon doing the night flow measurement activity and kapag nakuha na natin yung leakage rate sa specific DMA, makukompute na rin natin yung amount of commercial loss present. So paano yun? By deducting the leakage rate from the total volume losses ng DMA, makukuha natin yung commercial loss. Remember that our water losses has two categories, the commercial loss and the physical loss. And since makukompute natin yung ating total volume losses using the volume read by the district meter and the total billed volume ng DMA na yon, ima-minus lang natin yung leakage rate to the total volume losses to get the commercial loss. So ano yung benefit if nakuha natin yung physical loss and commercial loss? By that kasi malalaman natin kung ano yung problem ng area causing NRW. At the same time, ma-identify natin yung correct approach and effective NRW reduction activity. If sa night flow measurement activity natin, nakita natin na mas mataas yung physical loss compared to the commercial loss, then we can decide that the activities that we need to conduct on that particular DMA to address NRW should be the ones solving the physical loss. If nakita naman natin na mas mataas yung commercial loss, then the activities na gagawin natin should address commercial loss. Imagine doing a leak detection activity on area na commercial loss pala yung problema. So obviously, we are just wasting our time and resources kasi wala naman tayong nasusolve. Or kung meron man, hindi ganun ka-significant yung impact. So that's the importance of night flow measurement activity. Now, let's discuss the NRW reduction activities na pwedeng gawin if our problem is the commercial loss. So one of those is the customer meter accuracy verification and replacement of inaccurate meters. Here, you need to check if your meters are still accurate. For mechanical meters na more than 5 years na, I suggest i-replace na natin by a new meter. But to check the others, you can either pull them out and test them to a meter testing facility or you can use a portable meter testing equipment na dadalhin mo lang sa field, i-connect in series to the household meters, run a few volume of water, then check the result if ilan yung percentage error nila. So, pwede yung equipment na ganito, 2 meters, with 1/2 to 3/4 na size. Yung ibang brand, meron din naman silang up to 1 inches. Depende yun sa brand kasi, no? So check nyo lang yung spec. Pero usually, for meters na 1 inch and above, pwede nang gumamit ng portable ultrasonic lamp-on flow meter. The other NRW reduction activity addressing the commercial loss is the meter sizing activity. Here, we use data loggers to be installed to large meters. So what we need to do is log the flow data of that particular meter using data logger program with 15 minutes logging interval for at least 7 days. Ang goal natin dito is malaman kung saang flow nagbabasa yung particular meter na yon. Hindi na kailangan yung pressure. Flow recording lang ang kailangan for meter sizing activity. What I mean with kung saang flow siya nagbabasa is, di ba meron tayong 4 na flow? Yung minimum flow, transitional flow, nominal flow, and the maximum flow. So upon downloading the data from the data logger, if makita natin na most of the time, yung meter is nagbabasa between the transitional flow and the nominal flow, then the meter is in the right size. If makita naman natin na the meter is mostly reading between minimum flow and transitional flow, our meter is oversized. That means may mga dumadaang flow sa meter na below to its minimum flow limit. So most probably, hindi na niya nababasa yon. And that low flows na hindi na na-account ng meters natin adds up to our NRW volume. On the other hand naman, if makita naman natin na most of the readings fall between nominal flow and maximum flow, then you have an undersized meter. Now, pag-usapan naman natin yung NRW reduction activities addressing the physical loss. So una dito is yung pressure management and control using PRVs or pressure reducing valves. Ang normal behavior kasi ng water in our pipeline kapag mataas yung demand, nagda-drop yung ating pressure. By the time naman na low yung demand, nagbi-build up naman yung pressure. So normal naman yun, no? Ganun talaga nangyayari if wala tayong sinet na pressure control. The problem with that lang kasi, if mapapansin nyo, no, during high demand, meron lang tayong low level ng pressure. Pero at low demand, ang taas ng pressure level natin. And since wala naman masyadong gumagamit ng tubig, saan pa pupunta yung excessive pressure? Siyempre, sa mga existing leakages na. The higher the pressure kasi sa pipeline natin, the higher leakage volume ang lumalabas sa existing leakages. And since we are giving excessive pressure to that area, that pressure can also cause pipe breakage. In addition, hindi lang kasi high pressure ang reason ng pipe breakage. It can also be caused by pressure changes. Dahil continuous yung pagbabago-bago ng pressure from high to low, parang sinusuntok ng pressure yung pipe that will eventually result to pipe bursting, especially if sobrang abrupt ng pressure changes dahil nga wala tayong control. So to solve that, we can use a pressure reducing valve and limit that pressure to enough level lang para masatisfy natin yung high demand, but limiting the pressure during low demand and avoiding excessive pressure. Ang PRV kasi, its function is to reduce a higher inlet pressure to a steady and lower downstream pressure regardless of fluctuating demand and varying inlet pressure. So by that, and by limiting the pressure using a PRV, mapapababa natin yung leakage volume. And at the same time, may iwasan natin na magkaroon ng panibagong episode of pipe breakage. The other solution to address NRW that is caused by physical loss, ito familiar tayo lahat dito, no? Leak detection. So ito naman, hindi naman din ito basta-basta, no? And kung kailan lang natin gusto or kailangan gawin, doon lang natin gagawin, no? Or kung may nakita lang tayong indicator na may leak yung area natin, doon lang tayo magkakonduct ng leak detection. Dapat ang leak detection ay active, hindi reactive. Ito yung reason, no? So, meron tayong 3 klase ng leaks. The first one is the emergency. So, malakas ito, no? And talagang obvious na obvious yung leak. Minsan nga, namimedya pa ito or nakikita ng mga tao. The second type of leak is yung mga leaks na may indicators. So, yung basa yung kalsada or masyado lang madamo yung lupa kung saan nakabaon yung pipe natin dahil continuous yung source nila ng tubig and other indicators pa. Ito, minsan di natin napapansin. Minsan, it confuses us pa if leak ba talaga siya or dahil umulan lang kaya basa yung kalsada or pinaghugas ng kotse doon sa malapit. So, yun yung pangalawang type ng leak. The third leak type is yung walang indicator. So totally unaware tayo na existing siya or present siya. Because this kind of leaks, yung water na lumalabas sa kanya stays underground or dumidiretso sa mga drainage. So totally unaware tayo o wala tayong clue. Yung type ng leak na emergency, dahil sobrang obvious na niya, nare-repair agad natin yun. So kahit na malakas siya, maliit lang yung volume contribution niya sa ating NRW. However, yung second leak na merong indicator, minsan di pa natin napapansin. Napapaisip pa tayo kung atin nga ba yung tubig na yon or baka caused by something else lang. So from the time na naging aware tayo about that leak, until i-locate natin siya and i-repair, malaki na yung contribution niya sa NRW volume natin. What more pa dun sa third leak type natin na walang indicator. So hindi tayo aware, so hindi natin siya nilolocate, and hindi natin agad ma-repair. For the period of time na existing siya, malaki na yung contribution niya sa ating NRW volume. So that is the reason why we need to do an active leak detection activity. Aware man tayo or hindi na may leak yung area, ma-indicator man o wala, dapat pinupuntahan natin siya to do leak detection activity. If kaya, magkaroon sana ng dedicated team for leak detection para continuous and walang tigil yung paghahanap ng leaks. One good thing then about this discussion, makikita natin that leak detection is a curing stage for our pipeline. Existing na yung problema, so we need to act na to solve it. Yung pressure management and control is the prevention. If kaya natin i-manage and control yung excessive pressure, then mababawasan or may iwasan natin yung existence ng mga leakages and pipe breakage. Those are the holistic approach to address NRW. Other activities that could help us reduce NRW are installing float valves to water tanks and reservoirs to avoid overflowing kasi physical loss din yon. Step testing activity which is done by strategically closing valves to account and identify physical loss. Pipe locating activity para malaman if meron tayong mga pipes na wala na sa blueprint natin, na need na palang i-decommission. And worst case scenario, if hindi na kaya ng leak detection lang, baka need na natin mag-total pipe replacement. So that's all for today. Hopefully may napulot kayo from today's video na magagamit nyo for your agency to reduce NRW. For more videos like this, please follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you may also share this video and spread the knowledge to make everyone aware of the NRW reduction solutions na pwedeng gawin to our water utilities. Because we know that every drop matters.